Good evening, everybody. It is 5:17, Monday, February 2nd, 2026, and you are at the City of Wausau Parks Committee meeting. And we shall start with, is there any public comment tonight? No public comment tonight, so I'm not going to read the public comment statement. So we'll go on to item number 2, consideration of the minutes of the preceding meetings. Does anybody see any additions or corrections that need to be adjusted?
I move to approve the minutes from the preceding meetings.
Motion by Alder Rasmussen to accept the minutes. Second by Alder Rasmussen. Or Alder Watson. All those in favor say aye. 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 Thank you. Yes, that is for both. Item number 3, discussion and possible action. Item 3A, discussion and possible action recommending a vendor to operate the River Life concession stand. Is there any discussion or any motion? Alder Rasmussen.
Thank you. I think that we should have some discussion of the two proposals. Obviously, we felt like we were not equipped to make a decision at our special meeting. We did learn a little bit more about both of them. My concern still remains for the one plan that it actually seems to overwhelm the area. I think that the intent of that building was concession versus a venue. And so I do have a little bit of concern that the larger of the two plans may actually overwhelm that space. Not that that isn't a great problem to have, but when you think about creating something that's more of an event space, where do you go with 100 cars that show up? We have to plan for that too, where, oftentimes even when we had that, for a while, we had that Jazz on the River series that was happening in the back of the library. There were times that even started to outgrow that space. So, I think we have to weigh what that space was built to accommodate, and if it has limitations, I think that we then are boxed in a little bit on what that space can actually handle. So I do feel like we should talk about that.
Thank you, Alder Rasmussen. I tend to agree with you. Alder Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I certainly did enjoy Mr. Casarubia's proposal, although I kind of think this is not the optimum place for it. I really wish him well in finding a place that really fits well with his concept. So I'll make a motion to accept Mr. Alwyn's proposal.
Motion is made by Alder Neal to accept Mr. Alwyn's proposal.
I would second that.
Second by Alder Rasmussen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed? That motion passes 5-0. That recommendation will go on to the City Council. And thank you both for submitting your proposals. Thank you for taking interest in our city. So, Mr. Alwyn, your proposal will go forward to the City Council. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Alder.
Thank you. I didn't know we were going to vote right away, but I agree too. I think the other plan is exciting and has lots to offer, but I too think with WOW being right there and just it would be a lot for that space. So I think that the ice cream, that I like the idea of that. I also appreciate you're wanting to help out others in the community too with that. So I really appreciated that part of it. So just all around. So again, thank you or good, the best to you two, and thank you for submitting yours as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. On to item 3B, discussion and possible action on renewal of Radke Park / Grace Park lease agreement. I guess this is a yearly thing that comes in front of us. It's kind of a housekeeping thing for the airport. Jamie, you have anything to add?
It is a reoccurring thing. I believe it's every 2 years. Is that correct? So the city's attorney's office put this together to bring it forward as a renewal.
Is there any discussion on this, Alder Rasmussen?
Thank you. We looked at these in the airport committee also, which is where they begin their journey and then they end up with us. Because the two parks in question have assets that sit on what essentially is designated as airport land, there has to be a formal lease that allows the airport with sufficient notice to to reclaim that land for aviation purpose. The consideration for the contract is that the municipality in question where the park lies maintains that stuff for us. So these are standard leases. Every 2 years we have to renew them. And so they're coming around again, but we had put an extensive amount of work into developing them in the first place to clarify all of these land uses and the fact that they are encroaching on what is essentially airport property, but it's in an airport, it's in an area of the airport that is not easily accessible for aviation either. But the way the rules are, you still have to have a lease. So that's where we are today with this. So airport passed them unanimously.
Yes, we did at Airport Committee. Any further discussion? Can you use your mic on?
I'm sorry. No, but I would make a motion to go ahead and renew the lease agreement.
Motion is made by
Agreements.
Alder Lukens to renew, and this is for both parks, is that correct?
I'd second it. I would second it, Alder.
And Sarah Watson will
Chair.
second it. Motion made by Alder Lukens and second by Alder Watson to renew these agreements. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, and that motion passes unanimously. Number 4, A, 2025 year in review. I guess it's 25, it was all in the packet. Does anybody have anything that they would like to discuss on this? I mean, it's just a discussion thing. Any additions or corrections to it, or? I guess not, then we'll move on to item B, 2026 Park and Recreation Annual Forestry Plan. Would you like to add anything to that,
No, I mean,
Ms. Polly?
our work plan is just it's kind of a plan and process. It changes as the year changes and projects change, but ultimately what's on it is a lot of small projects for both city and county because our CIP large projects were last year. But we have a couple other things on here, typical annual work plan items with a few extra smaller ones. But really, this is kind of how we lay the groundwork for 2026, but it is subject to change as projects and items come up.
Alder Rasmussen?
Thank you. Not only was 2025, I feel like a good year for our facilities. We had good attendance at things and whatnot. I think that in 2026, even as difficult as it was for us to grind out an appropriate budget that gets us to where we want to go, I do feel like, in terms of the work plan, there is always good planning in terms of facility, not only maintenance, but programming by our partners within the park department. So I feel like we're set up for a good year. Obviously, I think that we are, other than bitter cold, having a decent winter for our winter stuff, right? So I feel like we're starting out on the right foot, other than being Arctic cold. So, but
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll pass on that then. Item 5 is adjournment, but before we do that, we have to figure out our next meeting. It looks like it would be Monday, March 2nd
Monday, March 2nd, yeah.
at 5:15.
There's not a spot on here for the next meeting date, so I'll have to work on that layout of the agenda to put that on there. But yes, it would be Monday, March 2nd.
Okay. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn by Alder Watson, second by Alder Lukens. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And we are adjourned.